Hey, how's it going? James Coffee here again. We're going to have a little chat today about some coffee. Thanks for joining me today. So, we usually talk about a little product or we talk about something that we're selling on the site, whether that's like a Chemex or an AeroPress or something. Today, we thought we would talk about coffee. So, we're going to talk about two coffees in particular, the one that we sent out last week, which comes from Creed, and the one that we'll be sending out at the end of the month, which comes from Eight Corner Coffee. Two different coffees to come from two different regions, two different countries, and hopefully you find this useful in kind of seeing what coffee we have available and what coffee we source every month that we get from different roasters all over the country. So first up we have Creed, and this coffee we sent out last week, so hopefully all of our subscribers have it at this stage and enjoying the nice cup during the week. I've been drinking it pretty much non-stop all week. It's a really, really nice coffee. So as I said, it comes from Creed Coffee Roasters. Creed are based in Selbridge and in Kildare, and they've got a really nice little cafe there that's become like a little walk-through cafe during lockdown. So you kind of go in the side, in the back, through the back area, and you kind of go in, order your coffee, take it, and out you go. So it's really nice, and it's meant that they've been able to keep quite busy during lockdown over the last few months as well. And their roastery is just out the back in a little shipping container. So when you get there, when you're queuing for your coffee outside, you see where they're roasting the coffee. So it's a really nice experience. And the lads that run it, Paul and Declan, super nice, really sound lads, and really, really good. Always great to have a chat with them too. It's always good fun, and we always end up talking way too much. So this coffee comes from Peru, as I said. So Peru is a country that I was lucky enough to visit a few years ago. Beautiful country. And if you ever get the chance to go. It's amazing. We absolutely loved it, and we'll be there again next chance we get. This comes from the north of Peru, or specifically the kind of northern Andean region, and it's got a really, really nice kind of story behind it. That area of Peru was where the last Incan emperors took their stand against the Spanish conquistadors hundreds of years ago. So a really kind of historic area called Cajamarca, and it's about I think like 7 or 8 hours from Lima, so it's really, really far north. The coffee itself is a Catatura, Catamor and Bourbon variety and is washed. It's a really clean cup, really, really nice cup. Kind of fruity, kind of almost like stone fruits kind of taste to it or notes to it, and a real kind of little hint of raspberry as well, so it's quite nice. But it's got a really unusual kind of tea taste to it, so once you've kind of had your cup, you get a bit of a lingering black tea taste, which is really, really nice. And the coffee itself is produced by just two farmers in that region. So it's just two guys, two separate farms that produce the coffee, which is something that's completely different to the other coffee that we're going to talk about. So that's Creed. So we've still got a few bags left. So if anyone wants to buy this from us, just drop me a comment or send me a message, and we'll let you know how. This was exclusively for us with Creed. So we've got a couple of bags left. And we could drink it all ourselves, but if someone else wants it, let me know and we can organise getting that to you as well. Next up is our coffee and the roaster that we're featuring this month. So the roaster we're featuring this month is based in Laois, and that is Eight Corner Coffee, and it's roasted up by Gabor. See if you can see that. There we go. So it's Karinga. So it's, as I said, it's roasted up in Laois, which is a county that we haven't done before. So another one ticked off the list. We'll get all 32 eventually, I reckon. And we'll get them all done. So we've done Kildare and we've done other counties nearby, but we've never got to Laois. So really, really excited to feature them and feature Gabor. And we've been talking to him for a couple of months about different coffees we can feature and different coffees we can look at. So we've gone with this one. And this is a Kenyan from Kiambu County. So it's also washed, similar to the Peruvian one. And the varieties that are there are an SL28 and SL34. So really, really great coffee, really, really nice. There's kind of almost orange or nectarine notes to it, a little bit of kind of sweet lemon sherbet taste off it as well. And it's got like it's difficult to describe, kind of like a thick kind of honey yogurt body to it. You kind of know it when you taste it. It's quite difficult to describe it in words, but that's kind of how it tastes. And look, with all the taste with coffees, taste with anything, wine, beer, food, we all taste things differently. So if you don't get these flavors or you don't get these notes, don't worry about it. Like, you'll taste something. My taste is completely different to somebody else's taste, and it's something that like we only develop over time as we kind of taste it. You might taste something, not know what it is. It could be lemon sherbet, or it could be something like bergamot. What does bergamot taste like? You don't know until you taste some bergamot. Isn't that right, Alan? So it's really, really good, really, really nice coffee. And where it's from, so it's, you see the name on the bag is Keringa. The Keringa factory is part of a co-op in the area and was set up almost 40 years ago, back in 1983. So it's quite a long time within coffee, and they've been working in coffee for almost 40 years there. And there's about 500 members within that region. And what they do is they collect the coffee cherries from local farms, villages, and kind of smallholders, and then they process it all in the same area. And one thing that they've looked at doing recently, because water is kind of quite scarce in the region and difficult to get that high, any water that they use for washing or for any type of processing that they use water in, it all goes back into the soil. So they make sure they don't waste any water. So it's really good, and it's really clever way of doing things. That's looking after the environment as well as looking after themselves as well. But as I was saying, so the region that the coffee comes from is primarily a tea producing region. So you've got all of these Kenyan teas being grown in this huge area, and then right in the middle is just this little pocket, this little kind of coffee, this little coffee area that grows some really great coffees. Kind of about 200-300 miles north of Nairobi. So it's a really nice cup, really great coffee. It's got a cupping score, I think, of 88. So it's quite high, or it's quite high within the 80s. It's going to be a nice cup of coffee. This will be getting roasted up again towards the end of the month from Gabor, and we will be sending it as soon as it's roasted. So you'll have it kind of end of the month or the first week of October, which is next month. So that's great. I hope you found this useful. And we're going to try continue to do these videos to hopefully help kind of educate in coffee and help people understand different coffees, different flavors, and what they should be looking for as well. So any questions, any feedback, love to hear it. Shoot me a message, drop a comment below. But that's it. That's great. And thanks for joining us this evening. And we'll speak to you all again soon. Cheers.